Welcome to this edition of Backstage Pass with Lia Chang. I'm your host, Lia Chang. Tonight I'm at Town Hall for The Voice of Whitney, a symphonic celebration conducted by Sean Mays with the debut of the Pops of Color Orchestra. Fans of Whitney Houston traveled from around the country and the world to attend the New York City premiere of The Voice of Whitney, a symphonic celebration, the highly anticipated concert event on February 15, 2025. Presented by the Town Hall in collaboration with Park Avenue artists, the estate of Whitney E. Houston, and Primary Wave Music. The Voice of Whitney, a symphonic celebration, features the original master and remastered recordings of Whitney's vocals set to new arrangements in a unique and one-of-a-kind reinterpretation of her classic hits and landmark songs, accompanied by never-before-seen video footage and interviews along with some of her historic performances. This special concert event was the third premiere of The Voice of Whitney in the U.S. and was conducted by internationally renowned conductor and music director Sean Mays, and featured the performance of Pops of Color Orchestra, who made their New York and Town Hall debut. The 35-piece orchestra was comprised exclusively of musicians of color, with an expansive and diverse background in multiple genres of music. The concert series follows the successful sold-out premieres at the Ravinia Festival with the Chicago Philharmonic, conducted by Sean Mays, and the Kennedy Center with the National Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Stephen Reinecke. The upcoming concert will be held on Wednesday, June 25, 2025, with the Nashville Symphony at Schermerhorn Symphony Center. The Town Hall performance was extraordinarily special because in 1978, Whitney Houston joined her mother, the legendary Cissy Houston, and her brother Gary to perform at the historic institution, where the young vocalist made her debut performance singing the popular show tune Tomorrow from the Broadway musical Annie. This Town Hall performance featured a new orchestral arrangement of that song by Camille Thurman. Audiences were delighted as conductor Sean Mays presented varied Whitney classic hits and landmark songs. The lineup also included Whitney's memorable live version of the Star-Spangled Banner from Super Bowl 25. Maestra Christina Morris conducted a special performance of Greatest Love of All, featuring performances by students from Fort Hamilton High School, Wadley Secondary School, and Repertory Company High School for Theater Arts. The show closed with the iconic I Wanna Dance with Somebody, named the greatest pop song of all by Billboard magazine. The Town Hall production marks the 40th anniversary of Whitney's self-titled debut album and the 47th anniversary of her debut performance at Town Hall during Black History Month. The New York premiere of The Voice of Whitney was indeed special. In collaboration with the estate and Town Hall, conductor Sean Mays visited with more than 50 students from the Whitney E. Houston Academy of Creative and Performing Arts, located in East Orange, New Jersey.
And the cool thing is that you go to a school where you represent her name. Her name is on the front of your school, and that's a big deal because she is like such an important part of music and creating music together. And the point of our orchestra is what we do is we bring together an entire ensemble of all artists of color, right? Like Whitney, right? Whitney was black, right? So we bring together an entire ensemble of artists of color, and they play that music on stage. So it's a big part of the legacy for us as an orchestra to make sure that we can represent the music that's being played on stage. Just in the way that you all represent Whitney and her legacy by how hard you work, by the cool stuff that you do at this school, by how respectful you are. I can tell already how respectful y'all are, right? Been in a lot of classrooms, and we're having such a great time because you're all listening so well. So it's really, really.
Compared to the 5 floors that's in front of us.
Thank you for joining me for this edition of Backstage Pass with Lia Chang. Until next time.
Jellicles and Jellicles too. Jellicle cats and Jellicle chats. Jellicles old and Jellicles new. Jellicle song and Jellicle dance. Jellicle song for Jellicle cats. Jellicle song for Jellicle cats. Jellicle song for Jellicle cats. Jellicle song for Jellicle cats.
Good afternoon, my beautiful siblings at the American Theater Wing and the Obie Committee. This is Andre DeShields, also known as Old Deuteronomy in Cats, the Jellicle Ball. Please allow me a few moments to represent that community of artists on the stage, off the stage, under the stage, above the stage, who came together to collaborate on what we hoped to have been a revolutionary approach to theater. The trinity of the 3 E's: entertainment, enlightenment, and ecstasy.
We are honored to receive the Obie Award. We honor it for the late Ken Page. Nina Simone said something that I would like to alter: to be old, gifted, and black, and to honor Dr. Seuss. Why fit in when you were born to stand out?
We feel so excited,
So honored.
Blessed. Grateful.
Ecstatic.
emboldened,
Delighted.
iconic,
Inspired.
Touched.
magical,
Touched. Bad. Seen.
Over the Jellicle moon.
Orgullo.
So honored.
epic. It is literally epic for what it has done for the culture and what it has done for propelling us and moving us forward in a progressive society.
We feel honored, excited, amazing, fab, all the things. It's just an honor because this is not just an art for me, it's also a lifestyle. So to be able to celebrate a culture that I was brought up in, and for my siblings and everyone else in this amazing cast to bring it to life, it's just an honor. And we thank you so much to the Obie Awards and appreciate all the love that we are receiving.
We are so grateful to you for keeping the faith. Thank you for seeing us, not only with your eyes, but with your mental, emotional, and spiritual intelligence.
Oh my gosh, Bill Roush, we got an Obie Award.
I got an Obie Award with Jalen Livingston.
No,
The coolest
it's all about
ever.
you.
It's
all
the
about
coolest
you.
ever.
No, honestly, speaking of cool, the Obie Award Committee, to me, have always been just like the coolest batch of theater makers. And for us to have made anything that they find remotely interesting is already just such a high compliment.
I agree with you. And to have the American Theater Wing's endorsement in terms of making these things happen and supporting our show, our amazing, amazing company of actors.
Yes.
Their own Obie citation.
Yes.
The design team, the
Just incredible.
choreographers, every person who touched Catch the Jellicle Ball.
I just want to also thank everyone. I feel like there's kind of this stereotypical artist journey narrative of people who got told you can't do this over and over again and decided to do it anyway, which deep respect. And also there's a lot of us who were encouraged beyond the imaginations of those who encouraged us. And so I really want to lift up the community theater that I was, learned how to direct in, the churches I grew up in, the cultural institutions from my home state of Louisiana, everybody who has prayed me into existence, who may have no clue what it means to be a director inside of a rehearsal room, but is trusting that I'm trying to make them proud, and I am trying to make them proud. And I just want to also thank the courage of one Mr. Bill Roush for really jumping off of a cliff with me and trusting that we could make something that was better than whatever I could have meant. This process has tested my creative values more than anything, and I have come on the other side of it a stronger, more passionate, more hopeful, more rigorous, hopefully a little more crafty uh, director. And that is no small part to just the trust and the courage of being side by side with you every day. So thank you.
Jalen, I've told you many times, but it's fun to tell you on a video that some other people may watch, that I learned from you every day in that rehearsal room. And it was one of the most remarkable artistic experiences of my life to create something by your side, and just having my toolkit just expand and expand and expand, and my heart expand by working with you. You talked so beautifully about everyone that you owe thanks to. And I want to say the highest compliment I feel like I got about Catch the Jellicle Ball was that it was the most cornerstone project that I had done since I left Cornerstone, that being the community-based theater that I was part of for 20 years. And so every small town and every neighborhood in every city that Cornerstone worked in, I feel like is absolutely part of the DNA of Cats the Jellicle Ball.
Yeah. And of course, the other two big puddles of gratitude. One, for the ballroom community for allowing us to work with them to create something that neither one of us had seen before, both on the ballroom side or the musical theater side. And of course, the Really Useful Group and Andrew Lloyd Webber for trusting these crazy ideas that we were trying to wrangle into materiality.
As is often the case, Jalen, all I can say is, yes, I agree. Thank you for everybody who came to see our show and cheered and screamed and supported the incredible artists who made Cats the Jellicle Ball.
Yeah, thank you.
What's an Obie? Gad, I had to do my research, honey, and I came all the way together. I'm beyond thrilled to be a recipient of the 68th Obie Awards. Thank you to the Obie Judges Committee and the American Theater Wing for honoring me with the Directing Award for my role as a co-choreographer of Cats the Jellicle Ball. Thank you to the whole PAC NYC team for recognizing my hard work and commitment to this project that touched so many lives over the summer. Directors Bill and Jalen, stage manager Jen Ash, conductor William Wardrop, and costume designer Queen Jean, and of course, my co-choreographer Arturo Lyons.
Hello, Obie Awards. It's me, Arturo Lyons, and I would love to say thank you for the recognition from the Obie Awards Judges Committee on the work that we have done on behalf of Cats the Jellicle Ball this summer at PAC NYC. I would also like to thank my co-choreographer, Amari Wiles, because without him, we could not have done this. I would love to thank the directors, Bill and Jalen, their co-directors, Oni and Cooper, as well as the makeup artists, the hairstylists, everyone, the lights, because without them, we would not have been able to put this together. Friends and family, thank you for your support and helping me. Even though this is my first musical, I would not say this is my last.
Thank you. This is history in the making and such a major moment in my career to celebrate. Slated on the runway, and judges, your score is of course 10s across the board. Thank you.
The last show of the season is probably the most special show. It was also the hardest show, which was Cats the Jellicle Ball. Taking a show like Cats and completely reimagining it was a true work of teamwork. It took visionary directors Jalen Livingston and Bill Rauch to come together with Arturo and Amari, the choreographers, to reinvent something that felt so new yet familiar. And what was so special about that one is that we brought in a whole new audience of people who don't traditionally see the theater. And that show, to be honest with you, almost broke me. There are many days I went home, had a really good shower cry, come back the next day and go, what do we want to do now? And we would just start from the top and really work through it. And it was, opening night was electric. The run of that show was electric. And it's hard to believe we actually got it there and through the graces of a really useful group in Andrew Lloyd Webber. I want to thank some really, really incredible people who made this season possible. First and foremost, my longtime associate lighting designer, Shannon Clark. We are celebrating our 30th production together as we speak. I want to thank Natalie Shipley, who programmed one of the shows and was the assistant on another show. And I also want to thank Colin Scott, who programmed both The Lonely Few and Cats and did such an excellent job. It really means a lot. I can't wait for 10 more years in New York City, and this is just one of the first milestones.
Welcome to this edition of Backstage Pass with Lia Chang. I'm your host, Lia Chang. Today, I finally get to sit down with one of my absolute dearest friends, Messeret Stroman Wheeler. She is a prolific, award-winning filmmaker, producer, actress, and voiceover artist. Welcome to the show, Messeret.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad we get to have this little New Year catch up.
Yes.
Executive produced by husband and wife team Messeret Stroman Wheeler and Ed Wheeler, Keepers of the Flame is their passion project. and a love letter centering Black women and their sisterhood in the fight for the right to vote in 1913, noting unsung women who should be remembered. Helmed and produced by Sherry L. Carpenter with producer Tia Dion Hodge, Keepers of the Flame is written by 4-time Emmy Award-winning writer Judy Tate and features Messeret Stroman Wheeler, Noelle Ramsey, Celestine Ray, and Montana Lampert Hoover.
Thank you for having me here. This is so good for us.
It's good for my heart and my soul to see.
Me too. So Ed Wheeler, my husband, he has passed on, but he's with us in spirit. He and I decided to do this because we wanted to honor Black women and suffragists. And
it's so timely.
It really is. And to show, what they went through. We didn't always have the right to vote. And this was their struggle and, the efforts they put in to get the right to vote. So Keepers of the Flame takes place, I like to say, what a woman said in Golden Girls, picture it. 1913, Washington, D.C., on the eve of the Women's March to Vote. And it was the first organized march on Washington. And the formidable Mary Church Terrell, who was a phenomenal woman and a civil rights activist, is the character that I play. And then Nellie Quander, who was a leader in the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which I am also a member of. And Edna Brown, who was a leader with Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Nellie Quander is played by Celestine Ray, Edna Brown is played by Noelle Ramsey, and these women confront and challenge Alice Paul about including Black women in the play. And Montana Lampert Hoover is playing Alice Paul. Marianne Eggleston's Orlando Urban Film Festival. We were nominated for Best Director, Best Short, and Best Actress. We came home with runner-up for Best Short Film and Best Actress Award. I happened to get. So that was nice. That was really lovely. And it happened actually to screen on my mother's birthday. So that was,
that's
a
really
gift.
special.
Yeah. And then after that, we received runner-up for Best Inspirational Film at J. Shannon Burnett's Pulling Focus Film Festival. We received at Tommy Nichols' Charlotte Black Film Festival, we received Best in HBCU Award. And then at Chike in Wofo's Silicon Valley African Film Festival, we received special mention for short narrative and congressional mention as well.
Very cool.
That's pretty cool. I was fortunate that my manager called me one day for a short film. So I shot that in, this month, February. And the filmmaker is a new filmmaker. He was actually a politician in Brooklyn, Raphael Espinal. And then the following week, I was approached by a fellow actress, but she's also doing a new show called Queendom PI, which is a lot of fun. So I'm really excited to see, what happens with both of those.
Sure.
But one is a short film, and then one is going to be, kind of continued series kind of thing that she's doing. Yeah.
What was your very first professional job? In the arts.
Yeah, right. Let's see. We're not going to talk about interning, but I understudied with a national tour of Negro ensemble companies from the Mississippi Delta.
Okay.
I did that tour, and then right after that, I ended up getting a musical, and I laughed because a friend of mine was asking me the other day, do you sing? Are you a singer? And I said, well, I can carry a tune, but my very first job in New York was in a musical. musical, and it was at the village gate, and it was, you know, a small little cast, but it was fun. Susan Watson Turner and her husband Richard had written a musical called Just a Night Out.
Okay.
And so that was a fun little
Okay.
thing. So I got to dance and sing, and you know. We met at Vita getting our taxes done.
But
that's where we met.
How romantic.
I know. I told somebody that, and she said, "Oh, that's boring." I said, "I know.
It's real."
But that's what happened. I said, "But you know, behind the scenes of that is there was a show we almost were in together." And the show, Joe Turner's Come and Gone, yes, thank you, that I was in, and they wanted to cast him in, you know, this is stuff I found out later, they wanted to cast him in it, but he had cast something else. He was cast in something at the
He was
public.
always working.
Yeah.
Always working.
So he, in the show I was doing, everybody was doing, his best friend was on the show, Bill J, and the director, Kenneth Richardson, he had just worked with him, and there were a couple of other people. So they talked about him a lot. So I always heard his name, but I didn't know who he was.
Oh, okay.
So I never paid attention.
Right.
And then at Vita, we both happened to be looking on the list, and he
and you each saw each other's names?
Well, he asked me, well, what number are you? And I said 20, and he said, oh, I'm 21. And I looked and I saw Ed Wheeler, and I said, hey.
Are you the Ed Wheeler?
That's exactly what I said. I said, are you Ed Wheeler, the Ed Wheeler? And he was looking at me like, who is this?
Stalker woman.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So that's where we first met. And then, you know, after that, we actually went to have a little lunch after that. But, you know, it wasn't
a date.
No, it wasn't a date.
It was just, we just had our taxes done.
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay. So, yeah. And so Vita will always be dear to me.
Right.
I don't go there anymore, but, you know.
Well, your celebration of his life was really special. And I was so privileged to be invited.
Thank you for coming.
What a special day.
Thank you.
I know he was dancing in heaven.
Yeah, I really wanted to honor him in an upbeat way, and he had always said, I don't want a funeral. I don't want people being sad and crying and looking down on me. I don't want that. And he had even let our niece, Audrey Wheeler Downing, and her husband, Will Downing, he let them know, I want you guys to sing. And because I knew it would be emotional and felt like it would be they recorded it, they recorded My Way. We played that, remember, as the pictures played. So, he was a great man, a wonderful soul, the love of my life. I miss him dearly. And funny enough, today is 6 months to the day since he passed. But he was a good man. He was a good human being.
Yes. So what's on your wish list for 2025? Manifestation. We're going to manifest whatever it is we want.
Okay. Well, it would be great to be consistently working as an actor. Yes.
That's what we all want.
Right.
Just to be working as an actor.
Right.
Thank you for joining me for this edition of Backstage Pass with Lia Chang. I look forward to seeing you at Keepers of the Flame.
Yes.